day van builders, hope you are all well and welcome to this 10-minute update from the 2+10 playlist, building a camper van a slightly different way. Regular subscribers have been following the build will know what we mean by that. Basically building out pretty much the entire inside of the van before actually buying the base van itself. Completely opposite way to how I've done it in the past. So we built up all the kit, put it down into kit form, and it's in storage and coming out bit by bit as we do the build. And that's going to start soon because we've now got the van. And what we're going to be doing today is the floor. Okay, now in the van building world I come across three debates, raging debates. One is, the big one is vapor barrier or no vapor barrier, and we will be coming on to that in a couple of episodes. The other one I hear about is whether you should, on your DC circuit inside, take leads back to the battery or earth it to the chassis of the van. I think there's no right or wrong answer, plus or minuses, and we'll be coming on to that in another later episode. But today it's the floor, putting the floor down, and the debate I hear around that one is whether you should have a batten down floor, so batten the floor and put the boards on top, or whether it should be floating. Again, I think there's no right or wrong way, and people who have thought about this and be watching my series will be saying, Greg, for your design you've got to have a floating floor, you don't batten it down. Well, yeah, but there's some caveats around that, and as we get into doing it in the video in a minute, you'll see what those are. Anyway, okay, less the waffle then. Let's hop into the van. But if you are new here and you want to subscribe, that'd be great, because I always do a 2-minute update as well for a quick hit, just to show you my progress. But anyway, let's hop into the van and get cracking on the floor. So the van came with this fitted rubber mat in it that's shaped around the wheel arch. Ideal if you're a man in a van just shifting stuff or you know, using it as a commercial vehicle. No use to me, of course. And it's the sort of thing that people would be paying a lot of money for who wanted it, but I'm never going to be able to sell it. Fortunately, my chum has got a use for it, so it's not going to go to landfill. Yeah, that would have been a nice bit of kit for someone who needed it. So I took that up, and all the ply, it was an 8mm, thin 8mm ply, and I kept those ply panels back that were on the floor, and I'll show you why in a minute. But crikey, what a load of gunk had got underneath it. So I swept all that up and got a nice clean floor to start to work with. So then I put down the 10mm closed cell foam. I won't call it a vapor barrier, it's condensation stop. In fact, we're going to be talking about installation. I'll probably get onto that in either the next video or the one after that, and we'll address that controversial subject. But I'm conscious that my existing van, I probably didn't do a good enough job to insulating the floor. It's a little bit cold sometimes, so I think I put something like a 5mm closed cell foam down, and then something like a 10mm insulation. And I don't know why I didn't put more down. It's not because some people decide they're not going to insulate the floor because heat rises, which of course is bollocks. Heat does not rise. Hot air will rise through cold air. Heat will go from hot to cold. It's one of the consequences of the second law of thermodynamics. So why I didn't make a better job than I did. But you know, lessons learned. I'm going to be putting 10mm condensation stop down on the closed cell foam. And then that's good. On top of that, I'm going to put 25mm PIR foam, Kingspan or the Celotex foam. And what I've done is I've used those existing bits of ply that I lifted out of the van as templates for the PIR foam. Following that, I went in with the ply boards on top. Now I've gone for a floating floor, not a batten floor. So people who've been watching my videos will know that I prefer, it's just by choice, there's no right way or wrong way, I prefer to secure all my kit, the cabinets, the lockers, the shower room, etc., to the ribs of the van as my way of making them nice and sound if I had an unfortunate event of a head-on. But I know some people just like to line out their van with ply or pine cladding and just screw onto that, which of course is not that strong, and so they want to be anchoring down into a very, very rigid floor. Which is probably a good idea, because I mean, if you only have to worry about the shear forces of a head-on, i.e. the kit trying to move forward, then you probably get away with, I don't know, something like a 4 or 5mm ply. Birch ply's got a shear strength of somewhere along the lines of 10 newtons per millimetre squared, which would be ample if that's the only thing going on. But in head-on, that is not the only thing that's going on, is it? You're going to have pitching, you're going to have cleavage, you're going to have tensile forces. And so, yeah, I prefer to just bolt things onto the side of the van, on the ribs, and then it gets away with a lighter floor. However, I couldn't get full-size sheets of ply when I wanted to do this job. And so what I've done is I've got smaller sheets of ply, and which ain't great for a floating floor. Where I've got 4 sheets joined, I've got a pillar of wood under that join. So it's not battens, but a pillar of wood. Like a lot of these things, in my view, there's no right or wrong answer. It's pure preference. The advantage of a battened floor, of course, is you've got a nice firm substrate to sort of screw stuff into. If you get your battens in the right place, you can put your cabinets straight into those battens, make them nice and secure. That way, if you've only got sort of cladding on the side of your van, which of course is very weak, and you just screw into that, you know you've got your kit firmly anchored on the floor. Whereas on a floating floor, the disadvantage, of course, you've got then sort of tag stuff into the ribs of the van to make things nice and secure. And then the advantage, of course, you only have to lightly tag them on the floor, stop them shuffling around. And I guess, of course, also you aren't losing so much insulation to battens, although, of course, that's only a small amount of loss. But wood isn't actually such a great insulator as some people think. It's about 1/10 of the performance of the PIR foam. And certainly on my workshop, where if there's frost on the roof and I fire up the heater on the inside, you can very clearly see where the wooden trusses are from the outside, because that's where the frost melts first. So you have these lines of melted frost very clearly coming through. Okay, so that's the floor. I'm going to get some first fix wire transits in next, then it's on to the insulation and that great debate, vapor barrier, no vapor barrier. Keep your suspenders on that one. Anyway, thanks for watching. Do the old like and subscribe nonsense, that'd be great. Catch you in the next one.